What's going on, everybody? Hello, 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 hello. I'm just doing an Instagram story here, real quick. How's everybody doing here? We are going live on YouTube right now to chat. If you want to come hang out, ask some ice fishing questions, or just listen, come hang out. We'll be here for about an hour. See you there. Live on YouTube right now. What is up? Welcome back. No, just kidding. What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello. Send it. Hi, Damien, Scott, Flutter, Dalton, record walleye this year. You never know. T-Tang, can't believe I caught a lot CSO live stream. Heck yeah. Slowly dying inside, no ice yet. I know, right? It's coming up. It's coming this week. Putting the chartreuse thong on as we speak. That's good. No ice, but it's coming soon. It's coming. This week is some low temps. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I know nobody else is ice fishing yet. I plenty icy in Alberta. Yeah, obviously probably in the mountains and stuff, right? Yeah. I might have been ice fishing today, but it's not great ice, that's for sure. I'm gonna give it a few more days before I head back out. Caught one fish, one fish. Carter got 0. He got bit off. I got one fish. And it was small. It's really small. Do I do guided trips on the ice? I do not do any guided trips on the ice at all. How's life? Life is good. Life is really good. Moved to a new place on an acreage. Getting ready for ice season. Open water was good. Yeah, so life's good. Not gonna lie. It's been busy, like super, super busy. But I finally beat Carter at fishing. I did. I beat him today. I did. I got him. Fireball. Oh yeah, where's the fireball? I might be done already. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. You're welcome. I care how you're doing too. It's amazing. When are the tube jigs for sale? The tube jigs are for sale. The ones I've been using are at senditoutdoors.com. You can find them on there. And then you can use code Clayton or Clayton15, I think, for a discount. But the bite size, the middleman, and the big mom are all on there. Does Frostbite have any new products coming this season? I think there's a few things in the works, just not released yet. So, yes, I think there is. Is there a noticeable quality difference between Eskimo and Otter tents? I haven't used the Eskimo tents enough yet to like really say whether it's like a better or worse quality than the Otter. I will say that I noticed all the stitching is really well done on the Eskimo, whereas there was a few shelters that I saw last year that the Otter, the stitching wasn't the best. Now, it happens with any company, right? Like you have a bad batch of stuff or whatever, right? So I've noticed that the Eskimo stuff is really good. And Otter makes an unreal product too. But I'm very happy in the quality so far. I did set up the 850 XD in the garage the other day and got like my cot laid out and all my whole like winter camping setup. And I'm going to do my winter camping setup a little bit different this year. I'll save it for a video, but I've got a different way to do my winter camping setup this year. And I'm actually pretty excited for it. Gift package from me to one winner in this chat selected by Clayton. We did that last video too, and Blake won. So we'll find somebody again. Send it outdoors. We'll do a shot for you for that as well. Maybe send it. Why don't you? I'm going to change it. You can do a package. You can do a gift, but you have to pick the winner. That's my only thing. You have to pick the winner, and then I can help you. You tell me who it is in the hour or whatever, and then we can announce it, and then we can I can help you get in contact with them. You can send it to them. So let's do that. Cheers, buddy. Apple pie. The gear you set up for every episode is amazing. You must be exhausted. Cheers from Alberta. It is exhausting, but it's worth it though. Like I enjoy being dialed in, having everything set up and whatnot. And it's like I have a video coming out here, my next lake trout video, which is the last one from last season. It's a banger, I'm not gonna lie. But I like timed it from like when I moved and stuff like that. So I got out, started fishing for the day, and then I moved, and it was like an hour to get everything taken down, move a half a mile, set back up again where I was dialed. So it takes a lot of time to get everything dialed in, like really dialed in. But it is exhausting, and it's well worth it though. How much ice up here? Like 2 inches right now. It's not good at all. Any deer hunting this year for you, Clayton? No deer hunting this year, but I'm going to get back into deer hunting and hunting in general again next year. With the move this year, it was just too hard, too much going on. But next year, I'll be more organized and be able to do hunting again. So I'm going to be hunting again next year and try to bring it to the channel. It seems like YouTube's kind of laid off a little bit on a lot of the hunting stuff. So I think I can bring that back into the channel, and we should be good to go. I want to expand the channel more, right? Because it's like Clayton Schick Outdoors. It's not just fishing, it's outdoors. It's about camping, it's about winter camping, it's about ice fishing, it's about hunting, it's about open water fishing, it's about a little bit of everything. So I'll send you some backstrap. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much. Lane, the 715 is decent for starters. Somebody must ask about the Aqua-Vu. The 715C is pretty good for a starter camera for sure. I just want to let you guys know, if you ask a question and I don't get to it, and you see your question go on through the top, like, feel free to bring it up again. I'll try to get to as many people as I can. This mild weather has made it painful to wait to get on the ice. I know, Jeff, it's been crazy. Why don't you fish very many tournaments? It's more so a time thing. Carter's convinced me to do some tournaments next year. So I think I'm going to probably do at least 1 or 2 tournaments with Carter. I won't say what tournaments we'll enter, anything like that yet, because we're not really too sure ourselves. But I think we're going to try to do a few more tournaments next year. I'm always trying to find that balance of like filming and editing. And then the tournaments are really hard to film. And I'd like to film the tournaments. But when you're filming the tournaments, so much of your time is dedicated to the filming part of it and not so much the fishing. And I'd like to just like go all in on a tournament, not have to film it. But yeah, I told Carter, was like, if we actually like got lucky and won a tournament, it'd be so cool to have that all captured on video, right, for that moment. So because Carter is in them, so he knows he'll lose. Yeah, when Carter and I fish together, yeah, we'll lose. Have you ever fished in Alberta? I have. But like 20 years ago, I fished the Bow River is where I was. And yeah, it's been a long time. Got to hire someone to film for a tourney. That's actually a great idea. And I think I would do that. I think I would hire a camera boat and whatnot to capture a bunch of stuff. And I would just worry about a head camera and audio in my boat, and that's it. And then the camera can capture the other things. Right? That's actually a really, really good idea. Hire Jay. Yeah, I don't think Jay's going to come do that. That's funny. Kane, welcome to the CSO membership. And we will do a member-only chat after this, which is just like a half an hour of hanging out where it's less people in there and people that can ask questions that might not get their question answered truthfully or answered in here. Only 2 people a boat. So yeah, Carter, there's only 2 people on a boat for the tournaments. Maybe, I don't know what somebody asked you, but we could possibly like sometimes get like a tournament thing if they knew that we were filming it, and if it was okay with everybody in the tournament or whatever, right? Like that and obviously it'd all be captured on video too, that we wouldn't have any help. But yeah, so did you ever fish a Dragon Slayer through the ice for walleye? I haven't fished any Dragon Slayers through the ice for walleye, actually. Lake trout I have though. Clayton, awesome answer. Thanks for taking your time for all of us. You're so welcome, Travis. Thank you for asking the questions. Thank you for watching all the videos. It's so appreciated. Huge fan of the channel, man. Happy to support. Welcome. Thank you. Cody, welcome to the CSO membership. Just so everybody knows too, like the CSO membership, it's more so like it's about supporting the channel more than anything. It's like I try to do some live chats and stuff like that for just members only, but it's not like somebody's missing out. Don't think because you're not a member that you're missing out on something extra that like I'll do some more like little small giveaways and stuff like that on there, but it's not like they're getting extra videos. Sometimes I'll try to give them the videos first maybe, but I don't want to ever get in that awkward situation where you're taking away from people that I want everything to be free, and I just want everything to be free. the membership thing is more for just supporting the channel in general. So how do I know I'm still a member? I don't think you are a member, Logan, because it would have a little star beside it there. It'd have a little like orange star, like just above you there. Kyle has a star on it. He is a member. Bro, you saved Fishing TV. So much for the cringy stuff out there. Can always count on you. Just be a normal dude. I used to hate watching the fishing shows on TV back in the day because it was like 20 minutes, 21 minutes, whatever it was, because there was 9 minutes of commercials. And there was also like, and during those 21 minutes, there was like every fishing show was like hitting their sponsors and doing commercials too. And it was like, you learned nothing. One of the first fishing shows I remember watching where I was like, I'm actually learning a pile of stuff right now and enjoying it was Facts of Fishing with Dave Mercer. That show was like, it really hit me about it was like interactive and exciting. It was cool. The camera, the editing, all that. Right. So all that was like, it just really made me want to make like a really good show that's interactive with everybody, that has entertainment and education, some education at the same time, right? So you don't want something that's strictly educational because people get bored. And you don't want something that's just entertaining because then there's really nothing to take away from it, nothing to learn, right? So Dave Mercer is a man. Dave Mercer has killed it, like, and he still kills it, right? He crushes it with what he does. So yeah. On the topic of fishing shows, what do you think of River Monsters? River Monsters is good. Like, there's nothing wrong with River Monsters at all. You know, it's not something you learn anything. It's more an entertainment value, but you learn, actually do learn something. You learn about like different species in the world and stuff like that, just about different fish that are out there, right? You're not learning how to necessarily catch those fish or do whatever, but it's kind of like it's a good story, right? It's got a good story to it. I've learned a lot from you. Really enjoy the content and knowledge. Thanks. You're welcome so much. Thank you for watching. Barry Butler Outdoors. Hey, how's it going? Been meaning to catch one of your live chats. Well, here we are. Here we are. Real Fishing with Bob Azumi was good. Yeah, that was a good one too. Tubes or paddle tails for lake trout. I prefer a tube, but sometimes you can put like a small paddle tail inside of a tube and you get both actions in there going at the same time. That's really cool. Best auger for drill and clown plate setup. I honestly have no clue. I have very little to almost zero experience with any drills, so I couldn't answer that question for you with like anything honest. I have no idea at all. Sorry. Any recommendation beginner sonar for Lakers? The Helix 7 I used was really good for the Lakers. It read them in deep water all the time. It had a good cone angle, like nice and wide. The only thing I'd say the thing is with a wider cone angle is if you're fishing like a steeper slope, your cone will like mark a certain area and then come out and you'll have this huge dead zone. But the Helix 7 was really good, and the Garmin Striker unit probably would be really good for the an entry-level sonar for lake trout. What is prime time? Prime time is the right time. Prime time is any time that the fish are going to bite. No, usually I say prime time's like that power hour, like the last hour of the day, the first hour of the day. That always seems to be like the prime time, right? But then again, you could have, if you know a certain fish maybe likes to eat, and from noon to 2 o'clock, that could be your prime time. But prime time is like, it's different for everybody. The prime time. Clayton, Michigan or Ohio State this weekend? I don't watch any college football right now, so I'm going to say whoever the blue team is there. Go Michigan. What's your favorite Northland tackle bait? Probably the buckshot spoon, I'd say, from Northland. I think it's just a classic. It's just a huge classic. Why don't you use Dead Sticks for Lakers? I do use Dead Sticks for Lakers. Sometimes I'm going out though, and if I have like 7 or 8 days to lake trout fish, and I'm going to try to capture like that moment just in the shack. I want to like be jigging for them and catch them. If I only have 2 or 3 days out lake trout fishing, I'll run a dead stick. But for me, it doesn't matter whether I catch that big lake trout the first day or the last day of the trip, or hopefully catch it at all. But I'd rather catch it in the shack, in just with the cameras on while I'm jigging, everything like that. It takes away from a little bit going to a tip up for it in that sense. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. And sometimes too, when I'm fishing by myself, I want to have 2 holes in there, or I want to be able to like switch baits real quick, and I don't want to worry about dealing with the outside at all. So That's kind of the biggest reason for it. Go to burbot rod. You know what I really like for a burbot rod? The running gun. Now, fishing inside the shelter, I'd say the drench. No, sorry, the digger from Frostbite, or the True Grit would be a really good burbot rod. The digger would be an excellent burbot rod. It's a medium 39-inch fiberglass rod. I would recommend the digger for burbot. Yeah. Do you enjoy lake camping and snowstorms? I do enjoy it actually. I don't enjoy the after, like the whole pickup in it, because everything's covered in snow. It's obviously can be a little bit more dangerous, but the camping in the snowstorm itself is pretty cool, and usually the fishing's pretty good too. Yeah, I got the drench and the True Grit. What other walleye rod should I get? The Smoke Show. The Smoke Show. I'm guessing Darian meant to say any pike fishing this year. There will definitely be pike fishing this year. Pike through the ice is one of my favorites, like hands down. Best dead bait tip up lane on bottom for Lakers. I'd say Cisco's. I like Cisco's. Like about say like a 12 to a 15-inch Cisco. Have you watched Digital Circus? I have not. How do you target walleye in lakes without much structure? Um, if there isn't much structure, I'd look for like the bays or entrances that are close to rivers, whether it's an outflow or an inflow, or if it's just in a big bowl, you're basically then just going to have to do a trial and error thing, right? But usually, like, so if I got like this big circle like this, and there's no structure anywhere, but there's like a little creek that inflows here at the bottom, I'd say it's somewhere in that little area, right? So go to like any type of moving water inflows is usually a good thing too. Any tips for beginners for choosing lakes and baits? It's more an experience thing. If anybody that's like a beginner into fishing at all, the biggest thing honestly is just time. So much experience is, experience outweighs everything else that you're going to do in terms of certain tackle spots, anything like that. Experience. The only way you're going to learn and get better of like when to know where to fish or where to fish is just time. Honestly, like the older I get, the more I learn and the more I can remember from years past. It's like, oh yeah, like 4 years ago, first ice, a little bit later, this spot was hot right there. Go try it out, right? Like it's just time. Just go fish. The cheap diesel heaters are fiddly, not reliable, but pump clean and circulating air. Blake, I've got the lake and the species for that. Clayton would love it. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but it sounds amazing. Are you targeting? Where'd that other question go? Sorry, I'm trying to. What's your go-to Laker rod? I'd say right now the Slugger for the bigger baits and the Mr. Big for the smaller baits. Drama Queen I use with like rattle baits and whatnot, but the Slugger and the Mr. Big. I probably use the Slugger more than anything because a lot of my fish, a lot of my trips, I'm like just going to target big fish. If I don't catch anything, I don't really care. So I just stay with the big bait, and that's kind of it. Not to say you can't catch small or big Lakers on small baits, but I've always just kind of preferred using a little bit bigger tube, like a 4 to a 6-inch tube. Clayton, got to say your videos are the best. Just watch one of your videos, Carter catching a 41-inch pike. You can truly enjoy watching other people hook up also. I enjoy fishing with Carter a pile. I love being able to see Watch's whole progress and progression of like, when he get excited when he catches a 36 or 38-inch pike. And now he's so spoiled. He catches like a 41-inch pike and he might, oh yeah, it's nice, because he's got some pretty nice like 43, 44 inches. So it's fun to see his progression grow and grow the whole time. I do enjoy that a lot. Would you rather have propane heater than a diesel? I'd rather have a diesel heater, I think. Honestly, like for winter camping, for just going out for the day, no. I'd rather have a diesel heater for the winter camping, but I can't find that perfect right setup where I can keep the diesel heater outside because I don't want it inside because there's too much noise on the cameras. I don't want to deal with that at all. So yeah, it's really hard to say. Do you have tips for pike flats? Usually like big long mud flats, like anything between like 3 to 10 feet. Generally, a lot of times, anything like with really wide contour lines. So not when you see your contour lines really close together where it goes 7, 8, 9, 10, like a flat where it's like 10 and that goes for like 40, 50 feet and then it goes up to 9 feet and then 8 feet. Flats. I like flats. And then put your camera down, and see if there is a bunch of like crawdads crawling around or insects or anything like that. Make sure there's life. If there's no life on those flats, there's going to be no fish. But if you drop your underwater camera down and watch for a little while and see a crawfish crawl by or anything like that, that lake is gonna, or that flat's gonna have life. And if that flat has life, it's going to draw some pike in. Almost always. Crappie, crappie, crappie. I know. I'm going to do crappie this year. I have to. Clayton, he asked about a Lake X with randoms pick head to head. I missed that. Just got my new live scope. I can't wait to use it. That's amazing. That's awesome. Like I love the live scope. It's so good. Today I was watching Carter fish from me like 50 feet away, 40, 50 feet away, and I could like clearly see his bait working, and I could see a fish coming in. And yeah, sorry, I keep asking. Best way to get to Baker's Narrows? The highway, Google. There at Google, it's all Baker's Narrows is all you can get there by pavement the whole way, and you go up through the paw. It's pretty simple to get there. Am I coming to the St. Paul Ice Show? I think is what you meant to say there. I don't know yet. I'm still debating. It's possible. The biggest thing I have right now with going down to the ice show is we've had such a late ice, and normally by now I'm out filming videos already, and I can stack some videos up and have videos playing. But since I'm going to be late on the ice, I feel like I need to be here filming because I'm not going to have a pile of videos out yet. So I'm really debating on it. I've got a flight where I can go for the day and come back home, but I'm still going to lose 3 days, basically a day of travel, a day there, and a day of travel. So I don't know. It's still, I haven't ruled it out yet. If you go, I will. Well, if I'm going to go, there will be an announcement. If I go, I'll likely be spending some time in the Eskimo booth and the Acme booth. So if I go, that's where I'm going to be, but we'll make an announcement before I go. I'm not just going to like go last minute. I'll make an announcement like a week ahead of the show, basically. I'm going stir crazy, not being able to ice fish yet. I hear you, Zach. I hear you. Did I kill a big whitetail yet? I'm not hunting this year, unfortunately. I'm not hunting this year. Next year I'm going to get back into hunting again, though. Eskimo has been consistently adding quality and value. I couldn't agree more. I'm very happy with everything that came so far for product and gear and stuff like that. And yeah. Hey Clayton, why the switch from Striker to Eskimo gear? I kind of covered that recently in a video. I did a video. No, it was in the last live chat. I talked about it a little bit, but basically it comes down to a contract and a little bit better financial decision for me for choosing Eskimo. They both make an excellent product. It was just a switch that is going to be better for me and likely better for me in the future. So that's the biggest reason for it. I believe in Eskimo too, though. So I use some of the product and I've seen the product. So it wasn't like I just took a contract because the money. It was more so of like, yeah, I like this product, I'll use it. So keep that in mind whenever I do switch something, switch a product or whatever. I've likely spent some time with that. There's an ad that's going to run. I'm going to go skip ads for everybody. Okay, there. I've likely spent some time with that product before. So, hey Clayton, can you do a video breaking down new water and how to use live scope and locate and catch walleye? First, we'll do a shot for you there too, Cody. But yes, we'll try to do something like that. I need to go to a new lake this year that's not mapped or anything like that, and just pull the live scope out and like do some hunting around and try to locate fish, look for structure with the live scope, etc. So I'll keep that one in mind for sure. What I should get is a notepad and start writing some of those down. Although that one's been on my head and my list for a while. So cheers to you. You should film at the ice show. So get a video at the show. That's cool. Filming at the show. I know some other channels do that where they make a video at like an ice show. But if I went to the ice show, my priority would be all the people there that watch the videos and want to come up and say hi. Because if I'm taking away from those people by trying to make a video, it's taking away from the whole thing, right? I want to give all my attention to the people that are there. So that's why I wouldn't film at the ice show for that, because I want to give back to everybody. Yo, Clayton, what's good? Good to see you live. Good to be here. Good to be here. Any plans to fish in Ontario this winter? No, I don't think I have any plans right now. I do have some plans to eventually get to Ontario to fish a muskie and stay at Jay's cabin. But right now, I don't think I'll be there in the winter at all. I'm gonna do some crappie fishing, but that's likely going to be in in uh, in Manitoba. Eskimo tents have let me down way too much. If you start using Eskimo tents, you'll get things like Jay. No, I'll be getting big fish in the Eskimo. Don't you worry. And Eskimo has such good customer service. So I picked up an Eskimo Escape 2000 flip over. Super excited to get it. That's awesome. I picked up an Escape 2800. I did a video. Actually, this is the thing I put for a whatchamacallit today. Can I do a poll? Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Okay. Do you want to see a setup video of flip over? So I filmed a setup video with a flip over install, right? Talked about it, whatnot. And I don't know if I want to put the video out or if I want to actually edit it, right? Like, I don't know if people really care about that. So we're going to put the poll out. If you want to see a video like that, like I go through it, I set it up. It took me like 4.5 or 4 hours or something like that. So it's got to have to put a lot of time into the editing portion of it to make it good. And I just don't know if there's some, like, people want to see that. With the lack of ice right now, I'm considering doing it. I just haven't decided whether I want to edit it or not. I've got part of it edited. I just not really sure yet. So Carter versus Clayton. We definitely need a Carter versus Clayton again. Are you done with Otter? I am using Eskimo right now, so I'm done with Otter. We left on everything's on good terms, so you never know what the future could be, but I'm going to be using the Eskimo stuff this year. Can I have your Otter gear? No, you cannot. Just because you asked. Have 2 Eskimo tents. I'm a fan of the flip over. Would be nice, but hard to find. I did some things on I changed on the flip over too. The only thing my complaint with the flip over the Eskimo was that, like, the bar where you come out of the door was a little bit low, but I drilled some holes up higher and, like, just it stretches your canvas a little bit, but it's so good. It's so good. I plan on doing a month on the ice straight. A month. Built a shack this year with skylights, fishing Cold Lake, trying to beat my 37-inch PB there. That sounds amazing. Very cool. Very cool. A month on the ice that'd be epic. Oh, I need to do that. What exact sled do you have? Like snowmobile? I have a Skidoo 900 Ace Turbo, I think. I'm not sure if it's a turbo or not. It's a 900 Ace. I just don't know if it's a turbo or not. Dude, we get on here and watch you drink and talk smack. Of course we'll watch it. Isn't that true? Cheers. I don't talk too much smack, though. I'm pretty good. I have an Outbreak 650, Outbreak 250, and Evo. Nice. I'm excited for the Outbreak 650. What shelter would you recommend for fishing 6 people? Something big. The Outbreak 850 would be probably good for that. It would be tight, but doable. It'd be tight. 6 people in a shack is tight, period. No matter what they tell you. The only one I think that would be actually you could do 6 people in. Clam came out with this giant shelter that's like 188 square feet. It's like 150 pounds or something to haul it around. It's huge. That one's the only one that you could logistically probably fish 6 people and be comfortable. The Otter Monster Lodge and the Eskimo Escape 850, which is I'll be using this year, the Outbreak 850 XD would be close. You could do it. So yeah, but tough, definitely tough. Brookie video this year. I don't know. It's possible. I have one lake that, yes, it is possible. It might happen. Is the Eskimo Outbreak 650 too big for just one person ice camping? No. Oh, Samson. The 650 isn't too big just for one person, but it takes a little bit more to heat it. If you're going to spend like 2-3 days in there, the 650 would be perfect and it would be good for you for like one person camping, but it's a little bit more to set up and whatnot, but it's not too big for one person camping. Like one person, I camped out of a monster lodge all the time, right? So realistically, it's like, that size tent, you definitely could. So it's not too big at all, but I know you could definitely get by with the outfit with the 450. Go search Real Life with Mike. He just put a video out of the new 450 XD Outbreak. He put it on with, it's the Blackout series though, but the other one's the same size, obviously the 450, and he's got it set up with 2 cots in there. You'll get more of a feel for it, for like how much room is in there. So go search Real Life with Mike Sampson. Can you heat it with a big buddy? You can do one big buddy in the 650. Yes, you can. When it's minus 30, you're going to have it cranked on high, but you can do it with one big buddy, not a problem. There's a guy right there that says, Idaho Steve, I camp by myself in the 650. It's great. So does anyone know, including Clayton, how many floor mats it takes to size the Eskimo Sierra Thermal? I do not, because I'm not even sure which shelter that is. See all the new Eskimos at run-ins in New York. They look nice, look heavy to pull by hand. So I got a Sierra Thermal because they just the flip over shelters these days. Like obviously you can pull them like with a Smitty sled, they call it, but they are heavy to pull by hand. The Eskimo, the new one, the Escape 2000, it'd be possible for sure, but they're heavy. Like I only use my flip over with my snowmobile, and that's it. How do I like the Heat Hog versus the Big Buddy? I'm very happy with the Heat Hog from last year. The only complaint with the Heat Hog is I need 2 hands to start it. The Big Buddy I could take and you could just like click it. With the Heat Hog, you have to turn it and then hit the igniter, which I tried so many times, like with one hand to like be able to do both. You can't quite get there. So you need 2 hands to be able to start the Heat Hog. And if that's my only complaint, that's a pretty good complaint to have, right? Are you going to use the Eskimo E40? No, I'm still going to be using the Alpha this year. I might pull out the E40 at one time if they send me one to do a giveaway with it or something like that. I might take it out, use it, and whatnot. But yeah, right now it's going to be the Alpha. Sorry, I was reading questions and got squirreled. Game of Inches 2. No, there is no Game of Inches this year, unfortunately. What's your ideal target depth for pike? I like between 2 to 10 feet, personally, myself, for ice fishing. That's like I feel like that's when they're on the flats. That's when they're searching. That's when they're looking for food. Not that you're not going to catch them like in deeper water, but ideally I like that 2 to 10 feet. So there was 177 votes. It was 69% for yes and 30% no for do I want to see a setup video of a flip over. So it might be enough to make me do it. Might be enough. Hey, Clayton, going to try another crack at some Duck Mountain trout this winter. 2 Master Lakers caught a week ago. That's unreal. Yes, I would like to go in there for some brook trout again, personally. I really would. Thoughts on Amped Outdoors batteries for live scope and where to find them in Canada. I haven't used Amped Outdoors, so I can't give you like my thoughts on them. I've been using the Dakota Lithium and they haven't let me down at all, so I've had no reason to try anything else. What's the best way to catch whitefish? Just get very, very lucky. Very lucky. No, I don't know. Whitefish is one of my weakest fish to fish for. There's no doubt. I feel like flats again, you're going to find them feeding on insects in the mud. But when we caught them up north in the Game of Inches, we found them like suspended off of structure. So if it was like, here was a hump that came down like this, I found them out suspended. So I don't know if it was like time of year or anything like that or whatnot, but yeah, so I don't know like the best way to like really target them. I'm going to try up at Baker's this year to go on like a whitefish hunt this year and see if we can find some. Game of Inches was so much fun to watch, Clayton. I'm messaging all the guys to do another. I agree. That's a question for Mr. 30. What about burbot? Burbot, later in the day is the biggest thing I can give you is like that dark, at dusk till dark. And again, you're looking for some kind of like structure that's really close to deep water that they're going to come up and feed. You can catch them off that structure in deeper water if you're going to keep them, but just know that like if you catch a burbot out in 50 feet of water, you're likely going to kill them, which if you're going to eat them and keep them, it's not a big idea or a big deal. But usually like steep structure that's like close to deep water up in here, and that where and like flattens out over it. Like, right. Say if that's my hand, and again, like there's the peak, and you got a little bit of a slow slope, and then it goes fast, like in that slower slope. That's where I would set up for the burbot. And anything when you got like a little bit of transition where it's got like some sand and mud with like a few rocks around. If this was all solid rock, I wouldn't want to be there. I like when it's like little rocks just kind of hanging around. Burbot love crayfish. Like they love to eat crayfish. So those burbot come up and they eat those crayfish that are hiding around all those rocks and whatnot. So that's my biggest tip for the burbots. Who holds the YouTube lake trout record right now? This guy, 44 and a half. And I've got a video edit that's coming out with Scott. Put it this way, the title for my next lake trout video, I told Carter today, I was like, this sounds clickbaity. I says, but it's true. I think my title for my next lake trout video is going to be the best day of lake trout fishing in history. Yeah. How's that for clickbait, right? We got to get those views up. So in history, like history, right? That says a lot. It's like, oh, we got to watch this. Where do I click? I need to click now. I love that. That's great. How about some good old clickbait, right? I live on Clearwater Lake, Manitoba. Whitecaps, no ice today. That's crazy. Yeah. Now you got an Eskimo, you kiss those days goodbye. You wait, you watch. I'm going to catch all PBs this year. You'll see. And then I'm going to screenshot this and I'm going to make you eat your words. For Lakers, have you ever tried the vertical tube trick? Daryl Gilbert had a video. I haven't done that trick very much. I did watch that video though. It was really good. It's really good. Hey Clayton, spending 5 days on the ice for Splake this year. Any pointers on what depth to start at? Oh boy. No idea. I know nothing about Splake. Like nothing. Next to nothing. No, I know more. I know less than nothing. I have to sneeze though. Oh, okay, sorry. Eskimos. That's the Otters greater than Eskimo. Listen, we're not having any of this whole Ford Chevy talk in here. You guys take your whole Ford Chevy talk and all this. And, my brand's better than your brand. You sound like an 8-year-old kid. I don't deal with that. Although if we want to talk about Live Scope compared to Mega Live, we can do that. So, yeah. My dad can beat your dad up. Good. If you got a cabin, what lake would you want it on? I don't know. What lake would I want it on? Good question. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that question right now. There's too many lakes, too many lakes to choose from. I don't know. I really don't. I got that one stumped me. Another day I'll have to answer that one. Any chance on a new PB pike? We're going to go for it this year. 100%. Hey, old timer. Hello. Dustin, do you fish for walleye much, Clayton? Yeah, a little bit. I fish for some walleyes here and there for sure. What's the best flip for a one man? That new Eskimo Escape 2000 looks like a perfect one man size that you could put 2 people if you had to, but that would be, I'd say, the best one for a one man because it's a little bit bigger. You want a little bit of room. So cranberry system cabin would be good. Yeah. Are we going to see crappies? Yes. This winter, I'm going to go catch crappie. 100%. When spear at Wollaston, tough to ice fish Wollaston. It's scary up there in the winter, big time. It's big time scary there. I've seen people fall through the ice there in like February. It's scary. What's your biggest walleye? It is 32.5 inches for length and 13.6 pounds for weight. PB pike is 47 inches long. How's the ice? There is no ice yet. Game of inches, but with fans for teammates. That'd be pretty cool. Did you make it to Wekusko after the ice show? I did not. Wind wiped out the ice for a few days after. Was out yesterday, 2 inches of clear ice. Well, that's good then. So there's ice coming back. Maybe I need to get up there then because yeah, I never did make it up there. Jay did though. Yeah, crappy collab with Uncut Angling. That'd be fun. Jay did a video on the new one, man. Oh, he did. Okay, well there you go. Perfect. There you go. Need a frequently asked questions sidebar. Yes. I've already answered this question, Jones, a few times, but yes, I am switching this year. I'm running Eskimo. On my last live chat, I covered it and talked about it, and I'll cover it more in a video at some point too. So about why I switched and whatnot, but there's nothing bad to say about anything, but I have switched. Yes, I know it's going to come out lots. It's kind of like, when Gretzky got traded. No, just kidding. It's not that big, of course. Scott Enlow has a 46 Laker on YouTube. Perfect. I'll have to check that out. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna search that. Copy. I'm gonna put it into Google. I'm gonna search it so I can watch it later. And there we go. And we'll watch it. And we'll see if it's all bump boarded and everything too. And the whole like biggest lake trout on like YouTube record and all that, that's more for like a fun thing. I did that because Jenkins had put a video out first. So yeah, he's buying a Ford F350 to match. I'll buy it. I'll buy a Ford. I ain't scared. Hey, how's it going, man? I'm gonna be up there fishing Lake Winnipeg. I've been there before and didn't catch much at all. Any tips? I've ice fished Devil's Lake my entire life and it's different. I think the biggest tips is you need to be able to move. Big moves if you're not seeing any fish at all, and then small moves once you're on the fish. I think that's the biggest thing, but I think you really have to be able just to stay mobile more than anything. Last year at Lake Winnipeg, also the bite was very finicky, very tough, and it was tough to get them to eat. Downsize a lot too. Like typically everybody thinks of Lake Winnipeg and they think big rattle baits, big spoons, all that. Don't be scared to downsize a little bit and then make some moves. Bigger moves if you're not seeing fish, smaller moves if you are seeing fish. Lake Prairie is freezing on Thursday night. I'm calling it. Perfect. Do you think there's a Manitoba record lake trout swimming in Athapap? I'm not sure what the Manitoba record is. It's definitely possible. I'm sure. Clayton, what's your opinion on Live Scope versus Mega Live? What do you like best? The Live Scope is just so far ahead of the Mega Live. Mega Live is definitely still better than nothing, but Live Scope is better than Mega Live. That's basically the best way to sum it up. Like obviously I'd still take the Mega Live if I had nothing, but once I have the Mega Live or the Live Scope, I won't go back. Still using a Live Scope XR. If so, does it do well in the shallow water as well? I'm using the 34 in the shallow water, but it still does work in the shallow water. I just use the 34 instead. Is a slush issue on Shield Lakes? Big time. We get crazy slush, like crazy. How's your experience with the mapping on Lowrance? Is it worth just getting a unit for that? If the maps are made already, like Angler's Edge, we have all the mapping. Where you are, Evan, in Alberta, you're not likely going to be able to use it that much. I haven't used, I think Lowrance is called Quick Draw. No, that's Garmin's. I forget what Lowrance is called. I have no experience with that, like the auto chart. Auto chart for me has still been the best for any type of like charting yourself that I've seen. Slush is the absolute worst. Like slush is the worst. Grilled fish or fried? I like grilled fish, but we end up doing it fried more because it's easy. But like a grilled fish, like a baked fish, is so good. Or like just like and pan fried, like with very very little like butter and like heavy seasoning where you like blacken it. I think that's probably my favorite. Any Hudson Bay tributary river lake fishing for winter or open water? I haven't done any of that, and I don't know when I will get to do some. Wisconsin anglers, what's going on, brother? Lowrance's Genesis live social maps. Okay, thank you. So I don't have any experience with that at all, really. Athapap is your best for giants. Agreed. Would you recommend using barbless hooks for pike on a tip up? 100%. You are going to save your pike if you use barbless hooks on a tip up. I don't think I did a shot for that last. You asked a really good question, but I never did a shot for it. So we got to do a shot there. We're going to do some butterscotch this time. Want to come down for Browns this year? I'd like to, but I honestly can't say it's in the books for this year. At some point, though. So spend the extra money and get the 34 transducer. The 34 transducer is definitely worth it for sure. That being said, any live imaging is better than no live imaging, right? So am I using the 34 or the 62? I'm using both. I'm using the 62 for the lake trout stuff, and I'm using the 34 for all my walleye stuff. Cheers. Oh, that's a 2-ounce glass too, just in case I was wondering. That's why it's only half full. Hi Clayton, big fan. Just ordered a sticker. That's awesome. Can't wait to get out there. Thanks for the amazing content. You're so welcome, Richie. Thank you for watching everything. Is Northwest Territories in the books for this year? No, it's not. It's not. I'm going to be fishing hard this year in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and possibly a trip to Alberta with Sean Conrad. Possibly. Where did you get your bump board? I got my bump board from muskiebumper.com. And if you want to actually a CSO decal on there, or if they're imprinted in, you can ask for that. But muskiebumper.com. Do you have a live scope video settings video? I've had a 32 VS for a while and it worked perfectly. I noticed last year it was hard to pick up my baits and took me 15 minutes to pick up multiple bait. I don't have anything specific. I'm trying to think which lake trout video I just did. I think lake trout day 4 or 5 of my series is going on right now. I did go through settings as I was setting mine up, but that's with the 62 and it might be a little bit different. I don't have like any specific live scope settings video right now though. I don't. So yeah, sorry I can't help you with that one. I do need to make a video like that though, definitely. Hey Clayton, is there going to be a game of inches this year? Sadly, no, there's not. What province would you like to fish besides Manitoba? Saskatchewan. You're too dialed on lake trout. Never too dialed. You can never be too dialed. I love lake trout, like a lot. Lake trout, pike, walleye are my, easily as I can tell from my videos, my 3 most sought after fish for myself. Somebody asked how Taylor was earlier. I just heard him sneeze a few times. So he's coming here somewhere. Yeah, he just woke up. He was sneezing. If you had to pick only one to use for the whole trip, would you use an Aqua-Vu, flasher, or live imaging? If I only pick one, it would be live imaging. Just because you can do everything, right? Like with live imaging, you can watch the bottom of the water column, the top of the water column. With the camera, you're only watching the bottom. With the flasher, you can see the whole thing, but not as well as live imaging. You can have a dead zone. So yeah. Show us a 48-inch pike this year. Let's do it. Let's do it. You coming to St. Paul? It's still up in the air. It's still a question. Nothing, not really sure yet. It's possible. Go to jig size for ice fish, or go to jig size ice fishing with a minnow. So we don't really get to use a lot of live minnows in anything that I fish. I like a little bit smaller though, usually like a 1/8 ounce jig. If I'm fishing deeper water, maybe I'll run a 1/4 ounce, but I like a 1/8 ounce for most of my minnow fishing, whether it be a live minnow or a dead minnow. Best color walleye bait for tantrums: the frosty clownfish. Go-to pike rod for jigging: the Drama Queen. I like the Drama Queen for pike jigging, 100%. Ion or Strike Master augers? Ion. I like my alpha. It's deadly. Smoke Show or True Grit for walleye? Smoke Show if you're going to use anything for baits that is smaller than 3/8 ounce, like 3/8 ounce and smaller, and then a True Grit if you're going to go 3/8 ounce or bigger. Either rod can do the 3/8 ounce just fine, but that's what I would go if I'd use my True Grit with the bigger stuff, and then I'd use my Smoke Show for the smaller stuff. Ion or new Eskimo? I haven't had a chance to run the new Eskimo auger yet, so I still got to go with Ion. Can I bring my wheelhouse to Winnipeg and stay in it, or is it just for guides? I'm not sure if that's changed yet this year or not. To be honest with you, like maybe I'll get in trouble for this, but is somebody really going to stop you from staying on the ice with your own wheelhouse? Like, I think it was only guides that could rent out accommodations. I think if you bring your own wheelhouse, you can still stay in it. No, you can still stay in it. It's if you go through an outfitter, that outfitter had to have an allocation for it. And only so many outfitters had allocations for it last year. So yes, you can still stay on the ice overnight at Lake Winnipeg. The provincial lakes though were different, I believe. Clay, do you ever watch Dave Jensen? I don't think so. How come you switched to LiveScope over Mega Live? Just because the LiveScope is just way better quality. And then I had a little bit of a falling out with Humminbird as well, but LiveScope is way better. Like I was switching regardless the Fallout or not, but the live imaging is just so much better than the Mega Live. That each brand has like pros and cons of everything, right? Like there isn't one brand that's specifically best at everything. So why do you pick Ion? Because it's been the lightest auger I've used, and it works like a horse, and it survives deep ice, lots of snow, and horrible slush. That's why I picked the Ion Alpha. What ice rod would you choose if frostbite rods wasn't an option? St. Croix or Abu? If I wasn't using frostbite, I'd probably be using Elliott or the 2B rods, to be honest with you. Maybe St. Croix over Abu. I'm not sure. Yeah, write it down and watch Dave Jensen. I have so much to write here. Here, I'll do this. I'll copy it. Control copy here, there. Okay. I'll watch that after. I got it. You ever fish Katepwa? I do. Who do you watch on YouTube fishing wise? Who do I watch on YouTube fishing wise? Daniel Stagg sometimes. I listen to podcasts. Alex Tim, I think his name is. I watched a little bit. Nick Linder, I've watched. Obviously Jay and Aaron, like everybody else. Zach the Fisherman in Alberta. His videos keep getting better and better. I like him. Who else? Real Life with Mike's good. There's a bunch that's out there that's really good, right? Like I find with a lot of the fishing videos, I skip through them a lot quicker than I do like just like watch them straight out, like a podcast you can listen to. But those are probably a couple that I would say for sure. It's been fun to watch everybody's progression, right? Like some of the channels come and then they just disappear. They make videos for a while and then they just disappear because it's that hard, or other things get involved in their life. They don't have time. But some channels just get better and better and better, right? Like their editing gets better, and yeah. So he watches Jay on how not to catch big fish. I love it. I love Jay. You ever tried Timber Wilderness rods? I haven't. Will Aaron ever return to this field? I honestly don't know. Sad, I haven't talked to Aaron since he bailed on us with Game of Inches. I never heard from him, and yeah, and we used to be good friends and talk all the time. So yeah, I don't really know. I know he's okay right now and he's doing fine, and that's all that matters to me. So are you using Eskimo shanties this season? I have covered that already in this video, but yes, I am. Was wondering if you go fishing with fluttering spoons without bait on it. I fish without bait with flutter spoons all the time. I actually prefer a lot to fish no bait on flutter spoons. Spoons that you jig in the spot, like a buckshot spoon. The dinner bell I switch up here and there, where I try to use it more as a on the spot spoon. Sometimes use it as a flutter spoon. The Acme Ice Winder, the new one that we're using this year, that's kind of like a little bit of a half and half. It flutters, but it's still on the spot too. Some of them you can use pounded on the spot spoons. I use bait with, but the ones that flutter, I try not to use that much bait with, or use bait. It just takes away from the action. Who took you fishing as a kid? My parents. My dad did a lot, and then my great uncle. That's who I spent most of the time with when I was a kid. Anyway, once I turned 16, I was fortunate enough to have a really good friend who was younger than I was, but his dad owned a boat dealership, car dealership, and he'd always give us a truck and a boat and just say, "Here you guys go fishing, go be kids, go learn." And here we are, a 16-year-old and a 15-year-old out there, a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old just fishing and learning. And that was always a lot of fun. That's when it really fish. That's when it really got my passion. Was like, it was always fun to go fishing with somebody where somebody was driving a boat and doing everything for you. But the moment we got to do everything for ourselves, that's when it really kicked in. I was like, I love this. Yeah. So was Baker's Narrows your best walleye top 5? It was. Baker's Narrows is right now my official top 5 best walleye ever in a day. It's 139 and a half, I think, or something like that. Was just a crazy day. And I felt like I left some on the table, though. I really did. Your videos convinced me to buy an arsenal of tantrums and dinner bells. That's awesome. Love it. If you're looking for a decent all-around pound fish rod, Beaver Dams are pretty decent for the $17 each, 2032 light. I remember that. Cult Fishing TV. Do you? Oh, I think you're talking to somebody else. I grew up on Buck Lake back when you could catch 11-pound whitefish. Wow. Will live scope make anyone a better fisherman? Yes, it will. It'll make you a better fisherman because you learn more. It's not necessarily going to help you catch more fish instantly, but you're going to learn more. You're going to learn which way the fish are traveling. You're going to learn which way they come up and down the structure. You're going to learn a lot in that sense. It's not going to necessarily catch you more fish, but you're going to learn a lot more. So yes, it will make you a better fisherman. What's that best ice fishing line? I've been using the Suffix ice braid stuff for the last couple of years. Suffix 832 ice braid has been great. Frostbite came out with some new ice braid. I just haven't had a lot of time to play with it yet. But the Suffix 832 ice braid has been really good. Did you see the new South Dakota state record walleye? I did. I didn't get to spend much time with it or like searching the story with it. I did see the fish. It's a giant. I ordered Hyperglides because of you. Looking forward to trying them. Hyperglides are so good. Like Carter and I were fishing today, catching nothing, of course, but I was like, "Ooh, Hyperglide." He's like, "That bait is so underrated. It's so good for ice fishing walleyes. Like, love it." I'm going to be using a lot of the Hyperglide this year. One rod on a budget for ice fishing multi-species, probably the True Grit. I'd say would be something that you can do walleye with. If you had to pike, if you had to perch, I'd say that the True Grit would be one I'd go with. You'd love to see the walleye coming out of Quinty right now. Oh, I bet, man. I bet. When you use tungsten dinner bells over lead, so it's not actually lead, it's steel, right? It's a tungsten. The spoon itself is a steel, not lead. So it's a tungsten dinner bell and then like a steel dinner bell. Use the tungsten when it's a little bit deeper, or if I'm going to fish for burbot, or when you don't want maybe when you want a faster fall. The flutterfish with the steel has just a little bit slower fall, which I prefer for the walleyes. So, like I said, maybe if it's a little bit deeper, or if it's if you're fishing for burbot, is when I would use the tungsten. Hey Clayton, you still guiding time to time? I am guiding time to time. I did 40 days this last year. Next year will be a lot less, though. It'll be like 20 days at the most. I'm cutting back heavily and just focusing on the videos completely. So. How's Carter liking the new job? He says he likes it. Likes it a lot. What's your top 3 walleye baits? Rattlebait, Tantrum, the Acme Hyperglide, and then the Dinner Bell. I haven't had much time to fish with the new ice winder yet from Acme. I feel like that's going to slide in there at some point. I feel like it's going to be like that one and the Dinner Bell will be the 2 spoons I'm using this year. I'm pretty sure. So. What did you do for work before YouTube? I've always just guided. I've done the hunting guide, I've done the fishing guide, I've done waterfowl since I was 20 years old. So 21 years, I just guided. More time in the outdoors I could spend, the better. What's the best place to get barbless hooks if you're planning a trip to Manitoba? You can make your own hooks barbless. Just crush your barb down. Other than that, you can order like barbless Gamakatsus, I think, online, maybe even barbless VMCs, I'm not sure. But you can just pinch that barb down so there's no like indent at all. If you ever want to know if there's still a barb there, take like fishing line. If you can't run that line back up your shank without getting stuck, then it's there's still a barb there. Not the scissor kick. The scissor kick would be in like my top 10 for sure for walleye baits, maybe even my top 5 possibly. Yeah, I'm not sure. The scissor kick is good though. It's another bait I haven't spent a lot of time with, right? Like anything that like the 3 baits that I listed at the top are literally like the 3 baits that I've caught my biggest walleyes with, probably. Pretty sure, pretty close to anyway. There's some other baits back in the day that I've used for a long time that I've caught some. So I caught a 34-inch walleye and could have been a state record, but shrunk to 30. That's a pretty big shrink. 4 inches is a big shrink. What's the knot you're tying the big mamas with? The missus here would love to know. So the knot for the fluoro to the jig, I'm using a uni knot. From the fluoro to the braid, I'm using an FG knot. Yeah. We'll answer 2 more questions here yet, and then that'll wrap it up, and we'll have a little members chat here already. Do you want a shooter? Cindy wants to do a Jello shot. Sure. The alcohol stuffs me up sometimes when I talk. It's crazy. Like I get stuffed up from alcohol when I'm talking. Okay, here we go. Hey, I'm gonna fish with you at Baker's in February. That is awesome. Yeah, I have to make an announcement about that. We still have two. We have two trips this year to Baker's with the Fish with Clayton. Pasqua is going to produce some giants this winter. I bet. Perfect. I'll have to go out there. Okay. What's your favorite ice fishing lure? You can come in. Cindy's gonna have a shot. You do both of them. I'll do one. Oh, wow. My favorite ice fishing lure. Jeez, probably a tube jig still for lake trout. A rattle bait. I can't choose a favorite. It's too hard. It's too hard. It's too hard. What's your favorite, Cindy? Yeah,
Why don't we take a look in my tackle box?
yeah. Next time we'll have a let's look at Cindy's tackle box. You probably don't even know where it is right now.
I do actually,
That's
and it's
funny.
empty.
It's empty. Did Carter take it or what?
Oh no, what's his name? Ah,
Mark.
Mark gave me one. I have one thing in my tackle box, and that was given to me at Mark by Mark at the Winnipeg Ice Show.
Ready for some 30s this winter. I am. Okay, let's have a shot. Oh, no spoon.
Oh, doing this.
These things are so hard. You're like so hard.
I know.
Okay, you first. Which lake they grew up fishing? Crooked and Lake of the Prairies. Lots on Crooked. I'm not licking this thing out on a live stream.
Just squish it. Okay, do you want a spoon?
All right, I did it. Claver, Cindy showed on the ice.
I'll crush you.
You'll crush me? Yeah, I'm sure. Green and yellow. Cheers. Okay. Jello shots. Thank you everybody for hanging out. We'll plan for next Tuesday again, and yeah, we'll do a live chat yet as well for members only for a little bit. So thanks everybody for hanging out. You guys are the best. Appreciate all the views. Hopefully tomorrow I got the video finished for my last lake trout video of the season, or like of last season basically. And it's a good one. I'm not gonna lie. It's really good. So thanks everybody. Cheers. These are the best.